Hey, Steel Nation, how you going? It's Mark here, Mark Davidson from Steel Nation Australia. What's going on, West Country? What's that? Let's go, baby! Yes, yes! Let's go!
What's the deal with the schedule?
So I think the stereotype that we drink Fosters, and the first Foster I saw was in Pittsburgh. It's a true story.
Yeah,
The first ever Foster I saw was in America. I've never seen one.
I thought that was like Australia for beers.
For what? Alrighty, Steelers Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. And we suck. We're terrible. But the standard is the standard. You know what? I like Mike Tomlin. I don't care. We'll talk about it with Arsenal DB today, but I like my shirt. I bought this shirt in Pittsburgh, and it's awesome. So, look, today sucks. Yesterday sucked. Tomorrow's going to suck, but it will get better. See how we go. Let's bring in my special guest. I haven't talked to her for a very long time. Is the Arsenal DB, shortly to be DB Khan. How are you, mate?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. My name license goes in act. I think around like after the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, I'm DB Khan again.
You go full into like draft mode, free agent, who we need, what's this, let's get that guy right.
Yep.
It, you know. How you feeling?
Awful.
Same.
I haven't left the house. I was like, nah. Yeah. I ain't going to the store. I ain't going to the store. I just sit here and just watch the old highlights. I watch the old highlights of the old team.
Yeah, just let down and sad. Didn't leave the house. Did you have breakfast or anything like that? Did you have any?
No, I skipped breakfast. I ate lunch though. You know, but I fasted basically until 2:00.
That's not a bad thing to do, actually. You know. I feel the same way. Like, obviously, my time is different. So when I went to bed, you were fasting. You're waking up, right? And I made a video last night because I know it was American morning for Good Morning Steelers, and it's like it does feel the exact same way of the 10-7 season. We had Kenny Pickett was 10-7, Russell Wilson was 10-7. They went on a 5-game losing streak, and then we're here back at the beginning of the offseason again. And that's like, was there really any improvement? It was a fun season. Like, I enjoyed the season overall. But, certain parts of it, but yeah, the way we played yesterday was piss poor.
It was real bad. It's just the effort. The effort out there. Like, you see guys just getting the arm tackling and just getting thrown away. Like,
that was terrible.
Derrick Henry was just playing with it. He was smiling, looking at the camera, running to the end zone, and stiff arming guys. Lamar Jackson just having fun. They're like a college team out there, just running RPOs on us. We can't read and like pick on the running back or the quarterback who got the ball. We're just getting cooked on the edge, and it was just bad.
They were playing like NFL Street, man. I don't know if you ever played that game. It's one of the best games.
NFL Street, you can like run the walls.
Ever made. NFL Street is the best game ever made.
Yeah.
They ran the ball 50 times. They got 299 yards. I saw another stat on the broadcast. It was like the Steelers have allowed 175 yards after contact, which is the worst this season in the regular season and postseason. So they just got ran over. Like, they got absolutely Like, you can't even – the offense – I thought Russell Wilson – we'll start there for a minute. I think Russell Wilson played okay. I thought he played okay.
Yeah, in that game, I think he played pretty good, the best he could. He missed some opportunities in here and there, but overall he did pretty good. He didn't lose the game for us like the previous games. Like, that was mostly just the team being like they didn't have any effort at all. The defense looked sluggish out there. You know, our playmakers. Cam Hayward, you know, he always give 110% effort. But everybody else was like just looking a little sluggish. Like Dante Jackson on one play, I remember he was scared to come up the tackle. He was just sitting back there just watching instead of getting up there.
That was the 2nd and 20, and they played zone, and there was like three men playing like I'm not an expert, but like I don't know, they're all like behind each other, waiting for the tackler to run into them.
Yeah, they play that soft Tampa 2 covered. And they cover that zone defense just sitting back. Instead of engaging, playing man-to-man, you're playing that on, like far down. You're giving them all that space. And you're not tackling either. So you're just breaking tackles and getting extra yards, turning a 5-yard catch into a 10-yard gain. And stuff. You're like, okay. It's just bad.
How do you go from sacking the quarterback and getting back in the game? Because the first drive we got them back to, I think it was 28-14. This was the drive they were going down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you sack them 2nd and 20 and then you allow a 20-yard pass?
Yeah.
I just don't understand that.
That's the story of our season. Make a big play, make a bad play.
And I get it, like football players go in there and trying their best, but there is, a lot of pressure on Tom, a lot of pressure on, maybe not on his job, but like to succeed over the next 2 or 3 years. Because we did hear the news, I don't know if you heard this, that Jerry Dulac, because he's connected and Adam Shepard, and also they weren't going to fire him, but they're saying that Bob Pompiani says the future is despite a widespread. That's I reckon what 75% of Steelers fans now are pretty pissed off about Mike Tomlin. Right?
Yeah,
like maybe more. Even guys like me, we're like, I respect him, I like him, but I'm like, dude, it's the same.
Yep.
Maybe it took me 6 years. I don't know. I'm not going to say I hate him, but it's the same, right? So widespread public outcry. Another embarrassing early exit from the postseason. That's, by the way, this graphic's wrong, but the 17-16 is wrong. So the 45, the 48, embarrassing. The 42 was embarrassing. 31 was bad. Now the 28. It's not good.
Yeah. Been bad. It's the same story because it's like, it's just the offense, you need to get with modern times. Coach Tomlin, I don't mind him coming back, of course, but he's got to find a way to like revamp his whole culture and say, what, you can't win this way. You can't win through defense and doing the running. They ain't gonna work in the NFL. You need elite level quarterback. You need elite level playmakers on the outside. You can't play defense the same way you used to play in the old days. You can't hit people the same. So you got to switch and get to a modern style. Remember, Pete Carroll he struggled with that in the Seahawks, and they made him retire. Sean Payton struggled with that with the Saints. He retired and came back with the Broncos and switched it up a little bit. Andy Reid did the same thing with the Eagles. They went to the Chiefs, switched it up. Sometimes you got to switch it up a little bit. Like revamp yourself, revamp your style, and say, okay, I'm going to try to win doing the modern style. Get an elite level quarterback, elite level guys on the offensive side, spend some money on that side instead of wasting, money on defense. The defense not doing anything. You spend all the money on them and they just getting ran over.
What was the problem in yesterday's game? I saw that James Debo Harrison said that the outside linebackers were crashing down on the running back when they should be sticking to the quarterback. And most times the Steelers have done that. You've seen TJ Watt crash down on Lamar Jackson, hit him without the ball. What happened, DB? How come they couldn't fix their scheme?
I guess they got a little scared about what happened last time when Derrick Henry. We played the Ravens. Week 15 or something. We played the Ravens. They got a little scared from that time because Derrick Henry did have a big game that game. So I guess in the RPO, they was like, let me just stay with Derrick Henry. Let me stay with Henry like that. But sometimes you just got to be patient. Just be patient, sit and see who got it, then engage like that. You let them have the 2 yards, but they don't want them to like to break and engage. And then they like Lamar Jackson, he was just doing the same play over and over. It was like easy, just running on the sideline, just getting past there and just running. He had like 10 rushes in the first half. It was like just getting more and more yards and stuff.
That first drive, he had about, I think, 8 carries, and it was just like the, RPO handoff, or is the running back taking it? Is Lamar Jackson taking it? And they could not figure it out. You know what's funny, though? Out of all the wild card games, our score was the closest for the AFC.
That is funny.
Isn't that wild? Ours was the closest. But no, with Lamar Jackson here. So in the very first, okay. I think this is a bit crazy, but I think where it really started wrong was that pass to Frymouth. He dropped it clean, cold.
The first play.
He sat the first play and he had an 8-yard. And one thing, we can get an 8-yard go and move down the field. And thinking, oh shit, is that day going to go that way? Frymouth dropped it, but when the Ravens went down the field, right, their first drive was 13 plays, 95 yards. Because we had a good punt, 95 yards and 7 minutes. How? Look, I think a lot of time our defense is the highest paid, and yes, there's pressure on Mike Tomlin. We get that. We both understand that. But how do they change that defensive scheme, performance, or identity? Because you can't allow a 95-yard drive.
No, that's like a perfect drive for the Ravens. It's 7 minutes, basically almost the whole quarter like that. Then you get the ball back, and you still have no momentum after the early punt. So it's like. They just controlled the whole pace of the game. The Steelers did not try to establish a run either. They just wanted to do try to pass the ball a lot. They didn't try to get the run going fully.
So far behind.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted them to, but they were so far behind, and I liked how Wilson was, airing it out. But in that sense, with the Ravens' first drive, it was 7-0, and they went 13 plays, and they even had a false start.
Yep.
They had a false start in the second play. They were 2nd and 11. So there is something wrong fundamentally with this defense. I think the players all individually, I think, can be great players like Highsmith and TJ and Minka. But fundamentally speaking, this team is not coming together at the right time to defend a 95-yard drive. When in previous times they can do it against the Ravens. So
yep,
that was an absolute joke to go down 7-0, 95 in 7 minutes.
But I think it is more the scheme. Because we have the personnel, but for some reason they don't call the plays that are right for the people out there. We don't see any blitzing. We don't see any man coverage. We have the Patrick Queens and we have the Peyton Wilsons who can man up in the middle. They have to against the tight ends. We also have the depth of DB like that to man up in certain spots and stuff. And Benny Bishop, for some reason, they didn't want to play him too much like that out there. So you have these guys that like wasting their talent really out there.
How do they look? I don't know how the organization and Tomlin, they think that Sutton is a better player than Bishop.
Yes, Sutton was horrible.
Horrible. He's been horrible since he come back.
He don't know the plays. Like, he always confused out there. Like, hey, what's the play? I'm like, you gotta be ready. You gotta be locked in.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Look, I know there's a lot of pressure too because we are doing a lot of negative, but there's a lot of negative. The one time when they went 4th and 1 and they were all running around and Mike Tomlin didn't call timeout. There's so many
call timeout. Everybody adjusted because the Ravens just snapped it and we had a penalty because we had too many men on the field too.
They couldn't stop. They couldn't stop Mark Andrews. He's a big body, and I don't know why we don't do something like that with Darnell. Like,
we need to start doing that tush push, the Darnell tush push. Call it let's call it Mountain Washington, pushing the mountain, just slide all over. An automatic play.
That's why I do understand the frustration because it does feel the same way we play football is run the rock and play defense and keep it tight and then win by a field goal, but. You couldn't even give Chris Boswell really a chance to get anywhere, and our defense wasn't stopping the run or anything like that. So they ran over, and there was no. I didn't feel like in game they didn't adjust, and at halftime they didn't adjust. The only thing really adjusted to me was that Russell Wilson and the crew were trying to throw the ball down the field, but the 4th and whatever it was, DB, what the fuck are you throwing that football to a triple coverage with Austin being the shortest man on the field?
Yes, Austin is 5'7". If it's 3 people on him. But you can do math, be like, that means somebody might be open. Somebody else might be open. If it's 3 dudes guarding Calvin Austin, he just threw it up down there. And they're hoping for a miracle. I was like, yeah. If I'm going to throw a jump ball up, I'm going to throw it to Mike Williams. Well, Mike Williams he was on the field at the play, I think. So I'm going to throw it up to George Pickens or somebody. Throw somebody tall. At least they have a chance to go up there and get it.
Let's count the numbers. 3's back with a safety. Probably 4 are rushing. That's 7, right?
Yep.
So you probably have 1-on-1 with a Pickens or a Williams on the outside. That's at least 8 and 9. The other 2 are probably middle linebackers.
Yep.
Why did he? I don't get that.
Russ shows the wrong answer. He said, that's the answer. Just do it. Yeah. Triple coverage.
Because I think I saw that play as well in the Bengals game. They did a similar thing. And it's a 4th and 15, which is really hard to get. And look, if he gets that play, but it was not even there. There was not even a chance that Austin could go for the football or beat triple coverage. I think you want to go 1-on-1. And that comes back to Russell Wilson. Denver tried to warn us and say, you're going to get some good Russell Wilson and you're going to get some bad Russell Wilson. I think we saw that, right? And I think as well, the offensive line, I think they played a bit better than with a week previous, but they still gave it too many sacks, 4 sacks.
Yes. Brother Jones, Dan Moore, he going to be a free agent, so they got to let him walk. Got to let Dan Moore walk.
Oh, yeah. Do you think they sign him back? They won't sign him back, will they?
Oh, no, you can't sign him back. And Brother Jones, you might have to replace him if you keep playing this way. Like, I know he traded up in the draft to get him, but would he
move over now to left tackle, and you have to get some maybe they do fire the offensive line coach and they bring someone else in. Like they need a complete overhaul. They need
bring Mike Munchak back.
You know what they need? I was telling you in the black and gold room before. Like they need to go all in. This is like if Mike Tomlin is staying, they need to go all in and do something crazy, like move up in the draft and get the best running back. Is it that Genty guy? Maybe you get him and you build around the O-line, you build you do something crazy. Like they have to fucking it's not just like a win a playoff game and then the next year. It's like, no, they've got to really go for the throat. And if they've still got some players like TJ and Highsmith and other guys are leaving, Cameron Hayward, I'm doing a video tomorrow, Cameron Hayward, with his creation. I'm like, I think the Steelers have failed him. I think the Steelers have failed Cameron Hayward in the chance to get a Super Bowl.
So we have the personnel, we have the talent. It's just like the one piece. It's like the offensive pieces. It's missing a few pieces to get. I remember the Rams was in the same position. They had Aaron Donald, they had the defense, they had everything, and they went out there and traded for Matthew Stafford, and they went out there and went all in. Like they traded their draft picks away and the Super Bowl.
They're kind of back at it with the offensive performance, and they're in the. I think they might win tomorrow, to be honest.
Yep.
I know what you mean. The Rams sold everything out to get one. Went through a bit of a 2 years. Oh, we're terrible or we're bad, and then they're back. Like they're back in the playoffs, and
they had a little down year, but then they drafted well, and they got those pieces like Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick. He drafted well. You bring him in, and they still competing, and they won a division again. So sometimes you might have to go out there to do a drastic move. The Chiefs did it too when they had Alex Smith. They got to the playoffs, but Alex Smith wasn't the answer fully. So they traded up in the draft, got Mahomes, and let Mahomes sit, and then eventually Mahomes took over, and they won 3 Super Bowls. You got to make a move eventually.
Well, the Rams won the division 10-7 with a -19 record, like point differential. So they won their division in a tough conference because Seattle Seahawks were trying, but the 49ers had injuries. But yeah, I understand the frustration from the where are you standing with the Tomlin thing? Like, what I haven't asked you that question. What do you think? What do you feel about it all?
I think Tomlin staying. I don't mind. Like I mentioned, I don't mind him staying. It's just like he got to be willing to revamp his whole style. Like stop trying to do it through the old school style. Got to get with modern times. You got to say, okay, let's switch this up. Let somebody else take control and making the decisions of bringing in certain staff members like that, high level staff members, and stop being cheap. Spend some money on some real deal, big time like coordinators, and also on the offensive side of the ball. Because the defense side of the ball, you keep trying to like run that same style over and over. It's not working, so it's time to switch it over like that. Get some high level quarterback in here, get high level receivers in here. I know Chris Godwin gonna be a free agent. T. Higgins gonna be a free agent. Somebody just bring some more talent in, get the offensive line fixed, and just spend some money. All the money in the offseason should go to the offense.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's should there be more pressure on the organization than the Rooney's as well? Like for how they're managing the club at the moment?
I think Rooney don't really. He's kind of like Jerry Jones. They just care about the money. Now that's like the ticket sales are still high, so like there's no point in doing anything to try to change anything fully. I don't know if he's as invested as his father was, like invested in a team like that. Because I feel like he just care about more on like the business side. Like, the ticket sales are still good. We got a new deal with Acrisure and all this stuff like that. Everything is still booming. We're making a lot of profit.
We're back in the playoffs and we're doing this and this. I saw a tweet from Jeffrey Benedict, who used to do stuff for the Steel Curtain Network. He said something like they haven't won a playoff game since that. I think was it Dan who passed away, right?
Yeah, I think yep.
Yeah, they haven't won a game since then. I didn't retweet it though. I can't find it again. So they haven't won a playoff game since then. So definitely some changes that happened, but I understand the frustration for Steelers fans out there. And as you said, you've been sad all day in your house, and you've been you're gonna laugh sometimes, haven't you? Like you've just been sitting on the edge of your bed going, "Oh,
like man,
can't do anything." And they're like, "What's up? Did you lose a loved one?" No, our team lost. What? My team lost. Yeah. Like people who aren't football fans are like, "Oh, you'll be right next year," but they don't get it because you've got. Yesterday I was so pissed off because I'm like, man, as a YouTube guy, got to start again.
Yeah, he invested. Yeah, he invested. He everything pumped up like the training camp. He was like, let's go, we're gonna get it. It was 10-3 at one point. We was like screaming to the skies. We were like, dang, it's just like the whole process. And I think Coach Tomlin got to kind of look at that too, like the whole process. He had to start over, revamp again. I thought he may retire the way he be sounding sometimes, but I don't know. So we have to see like what's going to happen fully.
It's still in the cards that it could be a chance. I'm not too sure what he'll do, but could there be a chance that he walks away and says, "Hey, Rooney, I'm out. I can't handle this. I'm out. My time's gone."
Well, they could sign him as the team president. He's a very good person to have around. Team president.
I think he still might do that, to be honest. Because his contract is up in 2027. Mm-hmm. So that's the last year. I think they maybe go and get I've heard the name of trying to bring back Brian Flores. I've heard that, these just like your fan ideas for him to be a coach or for him to this. Mike Vrabel just got picked up by the Patriots. That they only gave the other bloke one chance, like 1 year.
Yeah, Gerard Mayo, he was like, I think 33, 34. He was one of the youngest coaches. He played for the Patriots. We only had one
hey,
year.
come over here, bro. Oh no, wait a minute. Sorry, you're fired.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? That team was Bill Belichick went 5-12 with the same team. What am I supposed to do? He's the greatest coach of all time. How am I supposed to win with this team? I'm like, I can't win with this team.
Mayo was in there like hanging up pictures on these dush. Oh, how cool, how fun's next year gonna be? Dush. Oh, by the way, what? I'm fired? Oh. so I can't wait. I'm out.
Well, at least as a coach, when you get fired, you still get paid the guaranteed contract. So
who's the other bloke? What's the other? There's one of the guys out there. John Gruden's still getting like.
John Gruden, Antonio Pierce, and Josh McDaniels. The Raiders paying 3 coaches and not even coaching anymore.
Get a 10-year contract. Didn't one of them get a 10-year contract or something like that?
Yeah, I think Gruden had 10-year, $100 million. So they paying him like $70 million still because he only did 3 years and then they released him.
Yeah, so, I keep hearing this name too. This idea around Ben Johnson. What are your thoughts on this Ben Johnson from the Lions?
Ben Johnson's a good coordinator. That'd be cool. But Coach Tomlin do got to eventually get a protege. You got to get somebody like a high level name, like a real high level name, like a Ben Johnson type. Bring him in, let them be a coordinator, and then be like, you know what?
I don't think he'd take over. The Lions. I think you'd have to have Mike Tomlin walk away, and then you'd have to have the Rooneys reach out to him as a head coach.
Yeah.
You know? I just don't think that look.
You should have kept Brian Flores on the staff though. That would have been perfect. That was like a perfect.
Oh yeah,
perfect protege. Perfect. Like you could have built them up, and then like eventually say, "I'm done, Brian. It's your time."
We blitzed more with Brian Flores and the Vikings. These were the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
The Vikings offense, the defense is going crazy. They are like I can't even name any names that they got, but they have like a really good defense and they blitz.
Van Winkle, we've been playing real good.
We have more sack numbers and I think pressures with the Brian Flores when he was on the staff helping out. And now Terrell Austin, he come from the Lions and our mate, because you work with the Steelers Syndicate, Grid, who's a Lions guy. He was with the Lions and he was with the Bengals. And you don't have that like crazy playbook or you had the Dick LeBeau defense was like, holy fuck, that's so much.
He had everything on lock.
We don't have we have one-on-one matchups where TJ Watt beats his guy, or you might see a blitz every now and then, but they play that soft zone coverage where it's so frustrating as a Steelers fan because you're like, oh, Cameron Hale and these boys got him to 2nd and 15. You know what we'll do next? We'll play back.
Yes, play 10 yards off. I actually play 15 yards off. Give them the 15-yard and try to come up and hope for a tackle. Like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, so there needs to be a lot of changes because this offseason is maybe more important than last year. We're getting players back, but like the overall identity of the team, because we had probably better people, more a healthier team, and we still lost the same way, if not worse.
Yeah.
So that to me is the alarm bells are going off in my head, thinking what's going to happen. I have no idea. I don't even know if they're going to sign Wilson, Fields, or Kyle Allen. They're all free.
I don't know. Russell Wilson, it's going to be a lot of money. You won't be in the same situation that the Falcons are in. They paid Kirk Cousins all that money, and now they're looking to try to release him or trade him. But no one trade Kirk Cousins. Yeah. You're going to be if you pay Russell Wilson $80 million and he played horrible, he just fall off a cliff. Older quarterbacks just fall off eventually. Kirk Cousins he was doing good at first. He just got to the Falcons and just fell off and started playing bad. So you never know what can happen with that. Justin Fields, now you could bring him back on a cheaper deal. He's only 25 still too, so he's around the same age as some of the college draft picks that's coming in. But he had more experience than them in the NFL, so you could bring him back as a bridge guy. Maybe if he plays well, you might say, okay, I can keep him for a long run, but I'll bring him back temporarily. And if I see a guy out there who I feel like can go and win it all, might as well make a move or a trade or something.
Did the Steelers see enough from Justin Fields? That was my kind of second question with that too. Not saying that he can't be the quarterback next year, but we need a guy like a franchise guy, like a Allen, like a Jaden Downs. We need someone to take control and be the franchise.
We can trade for bring the old trade back. We can trade for Kyler Murray.
You want Murray in the system?
The Cardinals not using them.
Yeah, well, I thought he went okay this year. Then they end up falling apart. But that's my next question is: if they bring back Fields, do they see enough? You know what I mean? You've got to stick with one and kind of build around it. The Russell Wilson experiment I thought was pretty fun at the start. But is he your guy for? You don't want to sign a guy for a 1-year, 2-year contract. You want a guy who's going to be there for the next 10 years, right?
Yeah. It'd be different if Russ was like Tom Brady. They signed the Buccaneers signed him. He had him for 3 years, but he won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady was still in his prime a little bit. Russ is kind of like on the edge of like, okay, he about to fall off eventually like that. It's like getting to that point. He's a Hall of Famer, of course. He's a great quarterback overall. It's just in this moment, in this age right now, he's not the same. At least Fields, you can like use his legs, he can run, he can move and stuff, and he still hasn't reached his potential fully. So you're like, okay, maybe a lot of room for improvement. Went 4-2 as a starter. Russ went 6-5 as a starter. Fields, we had 10 touchdowns with like 2 turnovers, I think. As starter as well, has #1 in the division, so he was playing pretty good. You know, he had some ups and downs, missed some throws here and there, but he got room to grow. Russell Wilson is who he is. He's not going to get better. Like, not changing. This is like at the end of his career.
I thought Russell Wilson did okay this season. I thought it wasn't as bad. Look, sure, there was some sacks he took and some plays that maybe guys were open and this, but it was a better improvement from last year. And I think he wanted
way better than last year.
But I don't think he was the guy that maybe to move the needle to go and win these playoff games versus the Chiefs or the Ravens who killed us. You know, he could have maybe won your AFC North or, you know, got you to the 10 games he did when they made the switch. And at the time, the switch was a fantastic idea for the Steelers to do so. But maybe now it's not because everything was fine and dandy at 10-3. And then we had the gauntlet. We got killed by
all we needed was just 2 wins. Just 2 wins. Like this. Just 2 wins. It would have been perfect. Or 1 win. Actually, we beat the Ravens that one game on the road. None of this would even happen. We probably
do you think we just got a bit complacent? We just got a bit too conservative the way we were playing near the end of the stretch?
Yeah, we got way too comfortable. Like, you know, when you lock a playing spot in early, you got to keep your foot on the gas. You cannot, like, start saying, oh, we in the playoffs already, but now you still have to play. To play at a high level and stuff. We got a little too comfortable. And you see, like, this everything, like, kind of like switch. It was like night and day. You like, seeing the stuff that was working, we stopped doing that. Stopped using the middle of the field. Stopped running the football, and everything was just bad. Like, it just went downhill.
Yeah. Wild Herb ways. No changes, no needed, 0. Another winning season, total victory for the Hall of Fame coach. Tomlin evidence. Rooney just signed Tomlin to a 2-year extension. Yeah, well, he's there to 2027. That's what we're talking about. So, and that's why I'm a huge Tomlin fan, supporter, but I understand the frustration. But at the same time, we're just fans, aren't we? Like, we're just fans. What do we do? What do we do, DB? That's what we have the channel. What do we do? We're just fans. We sit back and we go, damn, that's.
I'm just glad they can't fire us.
Yeah. Find a new team. Who are you? Who are you going for in the playoffs?
Anybody in the NFC?
Yeah. The only team I like
Lions.
Lions. I think Lions are a good chance, big chance.
Yeah, when they first won ever. Lions or Vikings haven't won one either. Vikings or Lions, somebody who's new haven't won one yet. Let them win one.
I think actually the Rams tomorrow. I got a feeling the Rams might shot the Vikings. I've got a feeling. I think they might get towards Darnell and get a bit of pressure on him. Not Darnell.
Darnold. Yeah.
Darnold. Yeah.
I think people been talking about that too. They're saying like, so the Steelers acquire Sam Darnold. That'd be interesting.
But you need a plan though. What's the plan?
Yeah. We need weapons. The Vikings got weapons.
He's one Pickens, and that's it. And Pickens doesn't even want to be here. You saw the video about Pickens when he's like, "Are you confident next year?" Nah.
Yeah, I don't think Pickens understood the word optimistic means.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's 2 things. He didn't understand what they said exactly, or he misheard what they said.
Yeah.
Or he was saying like, because sometimes in Australia we have a thing called "nah, yeah." Like, nah, yeah.
Yeah, because you said, like, I see some improvement. Are you optimistic about the future? No. I don't know if you like understand what you're saying. Like, you can't say it's kind of like double. Like you said, yes, it's improvement, but you're not optimistic. But I've seen people talk about trading George Pickens as well. If you did trade Pickens, we got a 3rd round pick for Pickett, which is crazy. So you probably could get maybe a 1st round pick for Pickens, maybe, definitely a 2nd,
maybe a 2. But they just, like over the next 2-3 months, they got to figure out their identity. They have to, because then they're going to start building the team again, right? That's because we have no quarterbacks in that. But in that press conference, I feel like he either misheard what he said, because you're right. He was like optimistic, and no, he was like, "Oh, I'm confident we can improve, but I'm not optimistic." Like double negative, right? It's like, okay, he was like, "Oh, nah." So I don't know. And obviously that's going to be used for media and throw him under the bus and this and this. But I don't think his problems with Pittsburgh is that bad, to be honest. He played quite well in that game, as best he could.
He's like a veteran though, like a veteran in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like somebody like Chris Godwin would be perfect. Like he's 28, an all-pro player. Like bring a veteran in the locker room like that, somebody to help, like the young receivers, because Pickens can't be the veteran of the team. You know, you need somebody else like in the locker room to help out the young receivers. Know how to handle themselves on the field, how to get open, and especially You get a guy like Chris Godwin. I know he had an injury that this past season with the Bucks where he was out for the season, but he's still 28 years old, still good. He come out there, he'll open up so much more on the offense.
You know what? I kind of like what they did with the receivers this year in terms of just it was much better than with Matt Canada. I think the receiving coach did a pretty good job with what they had. They didn't have the quote unquote receiver number 2. They worked Mike Williams back into the game the last 2 games, but obviously often this game can be better. But I thought they did okay. Not great. I'm thinking 5 out of 10. With Pickens had a good year. Austin did.
Kevin Austin improved a lot. Yes.
They improved. It was improvement, but it wasn't winning playoff football games. It was improvement. So I want people to say in the comments, "Oh, you love the receivers." No. It was big time improvement from last year. But then you move into the tight ends, and they just didn't really use every time Darnell Washington got the football, he moves forward 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah,
we saw it, and then they don't use him again.
Like a first down every time he would get the ball, run a guy over, and then just first down.
There's big questions now too around I think Frymouth as well and how they paid him a 3-year contract, and he didn't really play up to scratch of it.
Yeah, he just got to get better with his blocking and some of the clutch catches, contested catches.
And being the number 1 tight end, it's your team. He's not a Kelsey. He's not the guy from the 49ers, whoever Kittle. He's not that. He's just Frymouth on our team, and we yell Muth because it's connected to Heath.
Yeah.
So I think you have to start making those catches and those silly fumbles, and I think you have to prove yourself. He was a 2nd-round pick, right?
He got to stop falling too. Got to stay on his feet. He falls every time he touches the ball. Got to stay on his feet.
Now there was some good moments because he had a few TDs this year, but I think with him as well, it's it felt like a 50-50 year again with Frymouth, right? I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying he needs to be more, into the offense, much better. Needs to be a better plan around him. But dropping the footballs and this kind of stuff, I think he'll be the first to say, "Oh, it was my fault. I stuffed up." But he's got to get better too. Some of these guys can look themselves in the mirror, man. They're going to go, "Oh yeah, am I meant to be on this team? Am I meant to be a football player? I got to start." And they're getting paid millions of dollars. They're all checked in. They have to be checked in. Offensive line. If we move to that now, the guy was at broken hand, he was out. But our tackles are pretty poor. Yes. Zach Frazier, his rookie year. Ciamalo was pretty quiet as well.
Ciamalo getting older too. I think he's turned 30. I think 30, 31.
Yeah,
around that. So they
last year contract last year as well. So
yeah,
dude, I think this offseason is going to be probably more dramatic than last time. And the last offseason was crazy because we had the Wilson thing, we had the Queen coming over.
We had no expectations last year either. It was it was different. It was people said, "Oh, they got Russ. Russ sucks. Field sucked," and we was like, "Okay, we're just waiting to see what happened." And we start getting expectations as the season go on. And now you're like, okay, we had a chance to actually compete, and then they just messed it up. So now this one is going to be a lot of pressure to make some moves fully and see what happens.
Yeah. And I like the move they made with bringing Deshaun Elliott over for his 2 or 3 year contract. But then he's also really frustrated with the offense, and so was Highsmith. He called the defense soft. I saw an Instagram post with Cordell Patterson saying, "I'm sweeping up snow."
He got to go too because he didn't do anything. He's a Hall of Fame kick returner, but in this day and age, he's not the same. He didn't do anything on kick return. He fumbles and all type of stuff. We need to get rid of him.
Yeah, he had one really good game against the Falcons. The other team when he got injured.
It was the Colts game, I think, before he got knocked out concussion.
Great game, but he had an Instagram post. He was shoveling snow and saying, "Well, I'd rather do this because at least I'm doing this. I can't get a chance to get on the field." So. There is some definitely behind scenes. People, I think the players are angry at certain.
They passive aggressive comments towards each other, if we could catch the ball, we had a better chance.
Yeah,
that's towards me. Yeah,
they shouldn't put him he'll be cut because you can't have that kind of guy as your kickoff returner where he's just not fast. He's just not quick anymore. I respect what he's done for his career. It's fantastic, right? Much better than I could do. But when you catch that ball and you see him running 4 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour, and it's from the kickoff, it's just like
Mr. Krabs. His legs are moving fast, but he's not going anywhere. He's staying in the same spot. I'm like, yeah, it's time to hang it up.
But even those personnel decisions, it's okay, you got Warren back there, you can run it back. He probably won't go the whole way, but you haven't got a true desert a kick returner who can run. None of the defensive backs can do it. Austin maybe, but then you don't want to get him hurt and hit with those guys running down the field. Yeah. Warren's there, and he's just more there to be a big bruiser. You're not going to run past everyone.
Yeah.
It's really this dude. Yesterday, I think it showed a lot of fans like me, who was a big supporter of Tomlin, that it is really the same. No matter how you code it and what kind of players come in. We've been through offensive coordinators. We've been through a DC. Who was our last DC? Keith Butler, right?
Yeah, I think it was Keith.
Yeah,
Keith Butler. Yeah,
and
he was there for a while. Keith Butler, he was just a puppet. He was just there, just standing there. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, and we've got Danny Smith and Tomlin's still there. It's just it is. I think what annoys me the most, it was the exact same result that every time we go in, and people were telling us that.
Yeah,
the other fan base was saying, "No, you're going to be one and done. Like you can't."
Yeah, they're going to be down 20-0 in the first half. Like, no, we're not.
I didn't think it would happen again. I really didn't think it would be like, would it be like a 7-7 game or a 10-7
like we lost.
game?
I would be okay with a 3-point loss, or a 7-point loss. But all the Ravens won by field goal or they scored a game-winning touchdown to win it. I'd be okay with that. But to lose, when you playing the whole bad.
It's now 5 times in a row where they let the Browns bet 28-0, 21-0. How? I don't understand. Yeah. Like it doesn't make it. Just makes
the Browns was probably still the worst one to me. That was the worst one. The Browns one.
Well, that was when both Big Ben and was it Mendenhall? When
he was on James Conner. The ball went over their head and said,
sorry, Mendenhall. Mendenhall's already got enough.
Yeah.
On his plate. James Conner was like, "You gonna grab that? You want me to get it?" And that was
it was an easy touchdown. And Big Ben threw like 3 interceptions in the first half. I'm like, man.
I saw Big Ben in an Instagram post like, the sun will shine out tomorrow, will shine tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. But he's at a bloody resort. Like, that's not everyone. You stayed in your room today. I woke up a bit angry. I'm not in a holiday. Big Ben was in his big resort somewhere else saying it'll be fine, still nation, and sun will come out tomorrow. It's like, dude, you're in a resort, like living your life, having a good time.
Yeah, I didn't have the any day. But my son did not come out tomorrow. It was still nighttime.
You didn't even leave the house, DB. You're just on your bed. You're just like
I'm sitting in the dark like Batman, just contemplating.
The Tebow pose. Like, oh man.
The Tebow pose.
Dude,
they gotta find something to do. They gotta find they need like a spark on offense. It's gotta make something happen because you can't keep winning, trying to win the old school style. You can't hold teams to. We can hold them to 18 points and hope to win. Well, we have them to 18 points. Yesterday we still lost. We only scored 14. You got to be able to go out there and put some points on the board.
The game they versed the Steelers versus Bengals when they were putting a lot of points, that was fun. That was energetic. They came out there and passed the ball around. The defense had a bit of time. Like we won that game 40 something to.
Yeah, I think Russ had 9 20+ yard completions, which is crazy. That game, he was launching it.
So games like that are things where the Steelers obviously they can score points, but they do seem to play very conservative, and it does come back to the coach. I agree. Someone was writing a comment just then after they were saying fire Tomlin. No, that's why it was. I agree with you. It comes back to the coach because with that game, the Steelers won 44-38. Wilson got 400 yards, 75, and it was a bad Cincinnati defense, but it was in Cincinnati, and you just need games like that where you don't allow 38 points, but Wilson was 28 for 38, 414, 3 TDs, 110 yards. Open the offense up and get moving. They scored. They were down by 14. In the second quarter, they were up by. They scored 20 points in the second quarter. So it's 21-14, something like that. And then they went on a bit of a heater. So it does need a bit of change. Need a bit of a shock.
We have a lot of good wins too. Like this year was we beat the Bengals, beat the Commanders, beat the Ravens. We had some good wins this season. It just fell off. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It's just switched the whole style.
Yeah, it was almost like Roger Goodell rang up and said, "You know what? You guys got to do the exact same thing again because it'll be funny. It's gonna be very funny if you guys lose the exact same way."
Yeah, build the storyline up. Then you finally win one next year.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia, Baltimore, KC, Cincinnati, and then we lost that one. But they had a stretch of beating LA 32-13. They beat New York Jets 37-15. 26-18, Washington, who were a good side at the time, 28-27. That was a Mike Williams touchdown. They beat Baltimore. They lost to Cleveland 1-2 in a row, and then they just went on a skid. Went down. Viper says it all starts with ruining a lousy conservative approach. And it does. It definitely starts with the top of the top. And I think, that's what I said to before. We obviously can't change it. We can talk about it for many months now. Oh, we can't change it. We have to
Rudy
endure.
he just say, hey, the ticket sales still good. We got playoff tickets at least one game. We good. We got sponsorships. We got all type of stuff, and the money's still good. Kind of like Jerry Jones, like the money side of things. But sometimes eventually you got to say, okay, we need to switch some stuff dramatically. Let me switch some things up to help my team
look at the
win.
Lions. Like I had Derek on yesterday. Lions, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never won anything really, and they've turned it around like 3 years, and they're like the Super Bowl favorite to win it. And their culture now is like go and hit these people in the head as hard as you can legally, and throw the ball around and win the games by 48-13.
Yep. Their offense is still very high. They have 22 players on IR, and most of those players are on defense, but they still number one seed because their offense is very good. And then you have all the offensive weapons out there. You still outscore people. You might can't stop everybody, but you can outscore everybody and continue to go. That's what the Chiefs do sometimes too. This year they're kind of a little different because the defense Chiefs is better. Right. Yeah, like kind of like balanced out a little bit. But the Lions got a lot of players missing. Aiden Hutchinson missing. They're out for the season, but they're still winning. Still number one seed because the offense. You gotta adapt.
Are we just not in a personnel wise, coming back to the coaches coaching, right? But in a personnel wise, are we just not a good team? Like, do we have black and gold goggles thinking, oh, George Pickens, he's really awesome, but really in reality, he's like top 10, maybe top 15 receiver? Are we not a good team in personnel wise?
I think the team is good, but it's a lot of spots that need to be filled. Like the defense to me, even though they have the little woes they have, but it's still a pretty good defense. I feel like the scheme is just what they call it is just bad for them, like the personnel that are out there. But offensive side, you gotta get better. The offensive side been lackluster. I feel like last year offense and this year offense kind of similar at times. Sometimes you see certain things. You like when we had Denzel Johnson, he was able to get open like that. I know people said that they said about him, but he was able to get open and stuff, make plays. We need to go back to the time when we had 2,000-yard receivers. When we had AB go for 1,000, Juju go for 1,000 the same season. You're able to run the ball and stuff. You can get open on the outside. It opens up everything else. But now teams are playing us like they say, hey, we can just load the box. We don't trust Calvin Austin or Van Jefferson to get open. We're just gonna load the box. We're gonna play. They're gonna try to run a ball with Najee, get everybody downhill to stop Najee, and then make them one-dimensional. And try to force stuff to George Pickens, and they don't really help and work too often.
Yeah, to me, they're just not consistent. Like, there was a really nice pass at Van Jefferson. It was awesome. And we saw great passes all year from Russell Wilson to Pruitt in the end zone to these guys in the end zone. It was really fun to watch. Like, oh, my goodness, that was a crazy, crazy pass. It was unbelievable to George Pickens. But they're just not consistent. And when the defense is also not consistent too, allowing so many yards rushing and the team to run over you, they can't compete and score down the field because there were times when yesterday, I don't know about you, dude, but I was like, oh, we're done. Oh, we have a chance. We have a chance.
I told you, they give you hope. They bring you back in. And you're like, oh, well, we got a chance for this. And then you see Derrick Henry run. Like, okay. And then we scored again. Say, oh, we got a chance. And then that fourth down play, I think we got to do is 14 inches. They decided to punt it. They should have went for it at that time. Like, might as well just go for it.
I thought the punt was a good idea. Looking back at it, maybe they should have went for it because it was at the 30. Out 30.
And the momentum was on their side a little bit. It was like, okay, we got to stop. Let's try to capitalize. And yeah, it is 1 inch. Like you can get that. Like Justin Fields, Washington. Not somebody can get that. Like come on, like 1 yard.
Yeah. So because I remember Dante was in the chat saying that they should have went for the thing. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, dude, because they really, make it still only a 7 game. But then they didn't stop them. They went down the field and scored. I think, or even the next drive. In that sense, maybe if you can't get a yard and Mike Tomlin doesn't live in his fears, but it's the ultra g'day, Jake West, what's going on? It's the ultra conservative approach that is Mike Tomlin's Steelers right now. And that's why I love this shirt. This was great in 2008, but now the standard is the standard. By the way, it's $17 in Pittsburgh. I went
what was it, 2016 was the last time we won a playoff game?
Yeah, I was living in Canada, and I remember watching the last game versus the Patriots, and I was very, very mad.
I was in high school still in 2015. I was in high school still. I think it was like in either 9th or 10th grade, around that range. So it's been a long time. A very long time.
Years later, you've now graduated from HDU, Huey University. So
yeah,
you're one of our first ones.
I got my doctorate degree in Pittsburgh psychology.
Speaking of Pittsburgh psychology. And we're going to end pretty shortly. What? I don't know what they do with the first move. I really don't. What are they going to do for the first move?
I say the first move got to be you handle the coaching staff. You're going to bring Coach Tomlin back, cool, but do not let him make any decisions of adding coaches. Be like, okay, we tried your way, Coach Tomlin. We love you and all, but it's time to take a seat back.
Who makes it then? Who brings it in?
I think Omar Khan makes the decision. So hey, we're gonna sign this coach, the DC. If you're gonna keep Arthur Smith, I don't know. You keep him, bring him back maybe, or you get rid of Arthur Smith.
He
but just
might
go
get
out
a
there.
job. You know what? The
Pieces.
best case scenario, he might get a job with another team. What could happen? The Raiders might get. I don't know. Someone might get him. They might.
Yeah.
He was. The Jets were asking for him, but then obviously then you're left without another OC, and you got to start again. I just think
one in college, the Ravens got Todd Monken from Georgia, and Lamar got 2 MVPs now, about to get second MVP back to back. So just find one of those guys who up to speed, those gurus who just know everything. They ain't gotta be no superb leader, but just a guy that holds people accountable and not to maximize his players' strengths and stuff. Just get a guy like that. And on defense, same thing. And just go out there and add passing game coordinator and maybe implement a fullback style. We haven't did the fullback style in a long time. We used to be able to run the ball with Roosevelt Nix leading the charge and stuff. He was a Pro Bowler. We haven't did that in a while. And our run game has been a little bad.
Jay Quest says, I was where you're at 3 years ago, got a couple more years, and you'll be calling for a new head coach. I don't think I'll be calling for a new head coach, but I understand. I understand the frustration with the. I'm not going to switch. The big reason why I like Tomlin so much is because he was my first head coach, for the team, and I just have such high respect for him, and I want to go to his Hall of Fame and shake his hand. So as on a respect level, I'm not going to turn my back and say, fuck you, Coach Tomlin, fire. You're fucking terrible. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to me to turn around completely. I acknowledge that he is struggling the last 6 years. We all can see that. But to me, it's not fair to say, F you, Tomlin, you suck, you're awful. Because on a personal sense, I think he's a good person from what I see from the outside. Sometimes they say never meet your heroes. If I ever met James Deber Harris and he said, man, you're a loser, move out of the way, Mark, you loser, I'd be upset. But I respect what Tomlin has done for this organization and the 18 years and the winning, the wins and all that kind of stuff. And I expect stuff like this too.
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
I think it's fun.
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
I think, and I understand the Steel Nation, a majority wants him out for a fresh start.
Yep.
Side, you get a fresh start. The grass isn't always green. A DB on the other side, But I will hold if we get someone coming in, whoever comes in after him, and if they win that Super Bowl that year, I will be saying it forever that they won with.
You use Tomlin players to win. It's Tomlin players. I get tired of that.
I won't stop. I will not stop using that forever. So Steel Nation out there, if you see him on YouTube for the next 40 years, you better hope that they win. They don't win with the next year after, because I will use it every single
Tomlin players. You want with Tomlin players
every time.
That's TJ Watt. That's Tomlin guy. TJ Watt. That's Najee. That's Tomlin guy.
every time. Jacobs definitely have some respect for the man and what he's done. 100%. We all should, but I don't think I'll turn straight away.
I think eventually, I love what Coach Tomlin has done. But, eventually everybody has their day. Eventually be like, okay, it's time for me to hang it up, retire. I don't think he'll ever leave and coach a different team, but I think this could be the last years of Coach Tomlin, as a coach in general. He might retire.
3 years. Yeah. 21 years as a coach because he's 2027. He has to have a plan for the next 3 years and also have a plan after.
Yeah, he can retire, go up to the office, and maybe come back. Some people did that before, maybe retire a little bit, and maybe come back. Like Sean Payton did a little bit, retire, go on TV, and then maybe come back. But I think he might retire in the next few years.
Michael would be the best on TV because you're having these guys in tongue twisters all the time with Tomlinisms, You
can start a talk show called Tomlin Talks.
Yeah. Paint the barn red. Have you got red paint? Paint the barn red. No, we're the same. We're the same team we were last year, with some improvements. But the fact that you lose by that much, 21 points in the first half, it was already over. And like you said, they reel you back in, DB.
Yep.
They reel you in. They're like,
no,
you don't.
It's like catching the fish. You're like, I got something crazy. And it's a tire. He's like, you ain't got anything. It's a boot or something in the water. We haven't caught anything.
Something really big, and it's like it's stuck on the metal part. You think you're fighting a 20-foot shark, and and it's just stuck on a bit of weed. You're, what the hell? It does feel like that. It's good to laugh, man. Anything else you want to add for this show or for I don't know, what do we do the next few weeks now? What do we do?
I guess you have to wait. Just wait. All my videos are going to just basically be about the free agents we should bring back, because we got a lot of free agents. I think the only ones you bring back is Fields, Atlanta Roberts, and Najee. Everybody else, just let walk. You might as well just let them.
Do they sign Fields and let Wilson walk and then they build around Fields and then go to the draft and get a 6th-round quarterback or something like
that? Maybe in that sense, unless they see somebody in the draft who they think is like worthy of that. The only people I can see maybe is Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, but they might be gone like before you get up there unless you trade up there to get one of those guys. And I can't really see anybody else. Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers from Texas. He look a little bad with Texas like at times too. So
I don't know if maybe Tomlin wants to have a
or Joe Milton. The Patriots got Joe Milton. He looked pretty good his last game. 6'5", can run and stuff. I have him in the mock draft many times. Still was getting those. So maybe you can send a trade to get him over here or something. Never know what can happen.
Do you think Tomlin wants to have that rebuilding quarterback the next 3 years if it is his last 3 years?
I don't think so actually. I think that's probably why he keep getting these veteran guys. Like when they went out there and got guys like who are already established. Like we're gonna get Russ. Let me get Fields. Let me get guys who are already like here because I don't want to start completely over. I think that's why he's kind of on the verge of retirement. You don't want to start completely over.
Fields might be the best case then because he's obviously part of the organization. They said he didn't want to change OCs. Younger, and then you see how he can run the football. There are times when I love Wilson the way he played for us, but he'll just be a scratch in Steelers history if he doesn't come back right. He'll be thank you, mate. And then there were times when Russell Wilson stepped up the pocket. He just can't fucking run, mate. He's too slow.
Yeah, like he's trying to move, but like cement in his shoes.
Fields does that. You work on his passing technique. You work as a quarterback, get better. Lamar Jackson much better this year passing the football. In those times when it breaks down, Fields can run 25 yards. So I understand that point too. I get it. J-Devil says Fields has a highest upside, maybe a good bridge. Yeah, could be. Could be the option. I'm not against that, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Do you think the Steelers are going to sign Wilson back?
I don't think so. Especially if the asking price is $30 million. They're not signing. They're not paying a quarterback $30 million a year.
Watch like the Giants or someone like that. Someone fucking stupid.
Somebody will pay him though. It'd be probably like you probably see it happen. It'd be like the Jets or something. Because Aaron Rodgers
he might get an okay year with them, like a few, 2 good seasons. Trying and. You might get the Jets, someone like that, because I've heard Rodgers come into the Steelers. I think that's.
I keep seeing that. That's the horror.
Why would we want someone slower with an offensive line that's still building? I don't think
Rodgers going to be in the media. That'd be a media like topic every week. Like him and Coach Tomlin they going at it head to head, and this right here is happening. Like I can't have Rodgers here. Maybe a few years back, but his MVP Rodgers, but not now. Oh, definitely not.
I don't think they'll bring in Rodgers because I think there's different personalities, and he's going to throw everyone under the bus. And I think Rodgers might retire too. But I think, in a sense, Fields does. Ben won with Maddox's team. In a sense, I think. In a sense, like maybe Fields you sign into a 3-year contract. That's time for Tomlin to work with the quarterback. We then get excited and fun about the quarterback and say, thank you, Wilson. You did your job. You tried your best. Go to the playoffs. Now it's a bit of a run to build around the O-line. They go and sign some running backs. And you know what? I wanted to bring back Warren. I think they can't lose Warren.
They might lose him because of the injury history that he has. They might. We can find a guy to do the same thing.
They didn't use him the same way they did the previous year, though.
Yeah, they probably find a guy to do the same thing but fresher. Be like, we can get guys fresher in a sense.
I hope he has a good career wherever he goes, but I hope they do bring him back because I don't think they bring him back Najee Harris. I think some other team will give you more money.
Yeah, and Najee he'd be cool to come back, but I think the Chargers they probably definitely be perfect for Najee because Harbaugh want to run that power like run scheme. That'd be perfect for Najee right there on Harbaugh. He probably have like 1,400 yards.
Go somewhere. What's funny because
he'll go somewhere.
the same fans that bag out a Steeler player who they want to leave. Yeah. Once they leave and go to a different team, those same fans go, "We should never let him leave."
Yeah, why did you let him go? I'm like, you say you don't want him anymore, and he had 1,500 yards with a different team, and now we want him.
Kevin Dotson was a clear example because he was, I think, injured. They went and got Ciamalo. They said you should never let Dotson go. But at the same time, those same fans were saying, get rid of Dotson. He's terrible.
And Kendrick Green. He got to the Texans. He started playing real good with the Texans. I was like, why you let him go?
Like I always say in my videos, what do you expect? Do you want that player just not to improve, like to play bad football? Mm-hmm. Do you want that player to have the worst season with a new team? It's like James Conner as well. He played pretty well with the
We should
Cardinals.
have kept him as well. It would have been good. He's still playing real good with the touchdown machine with the Cardinals.
Here's one for you. We got a lot of questions this offseason. What about bringing back Javon Hargrave for defensive line? He's a free agent.
That'd be good. He's on the 49ers, right? The 49ers. Yeah, that'd be good.
You brought him back with Keanu Benton. I don't know where you put him somewhere. Put him somewhere on the D line. I think
we need some more nose tackles. I think you got to get rid of Larry Ogunjobi. Ogunjobi is cool, but it's just the injuries. Yeah,
I watched him play yesterday too. I think he's out too.
Yeah,
I think he's gone. I think they go and get it. If you go put some money to get Jay Wobble back, and if he's good health, that's probably a good start for the D line because you've allowed, got cut from the point.
What's the name? Mason Graham from Michigan. He might be gone by week 5 though.
Because you cannot. My emphasis this offseason is the fact you allowed 299 yards, almost a perfect game bowling on the run is fucking terrible. That's bad.
300 yards rushing, that's like some Madden numbers. So they have it was horrible.
Dude, Derrick Henry had like 7.2 yards average. It's crazy.
Yeah, they say, you want to take it? I'll take it this time. RPO and just run. Here, you can take this time. And just ran that way, and no one was stopping. He did a jump cut. How you do a jump cut in traffic? A jump cut in traffic, and then still get yards. I'm like, what? Can't tackle anything.
Gravedigger at nose tackle, Benton at the end, and you have Cameron Hayward on the other side. I would love that if they brought back. He was healthy. He was a good player to go. Build the D line and have some muscle there, bro. Mark would have commented too. Ultimately, the organization failed to handle the move from Big Ben. I agree. They definitely did.
I say it every time about the Jalen Hurts.
Back, bro. He's laughing. He's like,
because Big Ben kept complaining about the quarterback. You missed the quarterback every time. We had Jalen Hurts on the board. We took Chase Claypool. Coach Tomlin was interviewing Hurts. He was talking to him and said, "I like this kid," and he took Chase Claypool over Jalen Hurts. We had Jalen Hurts right there. We could have had Jalen Hurts in Pittsburgh. He fell right to us in the draft.
Well, there's another one too.
That one still hurt me.
Terrell Edmonds, and they didn't go and sign Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, the Lamar one, that one right there is still crazy too, because I think the following year Big Ben got hurt. So imagine if Lamar came in, Big Ben would never got his job back.
Also needs reinforcement on the coaching staff or needs to replace. Yeah, I think he's the number one scapegoat. Last year it was Matt Canada.
Yeah,
I understand that people want Mike Tomlin gone, but it looks like it's not going to happen.
It's also going to be
there. Someone's going, and then I don't know who steps in. Who would step in for DC?
You got to find somebody who's willing to blitz and play man coverage.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the coordinators out there or any linebacker coaches or assistants out there who are available, but they got to find somebody. So they go out there and do something different.
Yeah, these will be the some of the things we talk about in the next 3 months when we start getting some news coming out from DC Debo. That'd be fucking fantastic. I don't know if he can be a coach though, but I probably
can. He might. He might get.
Would he want to do it?
You pay him enough money, he probably would.
Yeah, DC Debo. Imagine Debo on the sidelines. He'd probably try and get in there.
You're like,
all righty,
he's how you do it. Just get in there. He still can sled. 1,200 pounds.
He was going after the players on the defense, saying, "What are you doing? This scheme sucks. It's terrible. Like, change it up." And there's many ex-Steelers guys from 2008, 2010 that are like, "This team is in shambles. Like, what are you guys doing?"
People that approach though, because it's always cool to see former players become coaches. It does work out sometimes. So,
we spoke about yesterday.
Bring Debo back.
Renton NOL is 100% J-double. Randall plays for the coach for the Lions. Big play William Gay, coach for the Commanders. He's a secondary coach.
Yeah, and they both in the playoffs too.
Yeah, and they were like, I'm thinking, and Hines Ward was with the Jets for a minute. I'm thinking, why are these players coming back to Pittsburgh?
Yes, just bring them back in, like keep them around. Just like have everything.
Is there a bit of turmoil there? Like, is there a bit of like, angst or something? Is there? They didn't leave on the right? I don't know.
Some of them come back during like the training camp stuff. Like I see them really showing like Plaxico Burress. They're showing all type of guys. They show on Santonio Holmes and stuff that was there around the organization helping people and stuff. But we need to sign those guys like full time, like for the whole season to be out there.
Yeah, they need a bit of a kick up there, kick in the ass for the culture to come back and the Steelers way, which is play physical football. And we've seen that in certain games, but it just goes away in the playoffs. All right, DB, let's get out of here, man. Hopefully you can leave your house. I'm actually going to go to the Winners Pub today. I'm going to go to the pub, have some lunch, and I'm going to get on my phone and just read all the tweets and read all the comments and probably do a big thank you post to everyone because a big season.
Thank you. It's like the same stuff, like fire this, fire that, fire him, fire this person.
Oh, Larry Foote is a linebacker coach for Tampa Bay.
You see,
there you go. Look, and obviously there's opportunities out there. Don't have to come back to Pittsburgh, but it's just interesting.
Bring some guys back. We need to bring our alumni back. Bring everybody back.
Yeah, just go and give them maybe Rooney. Send the money out. Bring back Foote. Bring back Randall. Get Hines Ward. Get in Jerome Bettis. Get them all. Yeah. Get them all in.
And look all the highlights. Like, this is what we did. This is what we did in 2008. Can you do this?
They are missing. To be honest, they're missing that. They're trying their best, but they are missing that connection. And maybe it is Tomlin's fault. I don't know, but they're missing that side of like, okay, here's what we did, and we have that connection. And then I think, look, I love the fact that Minka 2 years ago, he fought Claypool because Claypool was being a bit of a bitch. Yeah. I love that. But where is that now? Where's that stuff? But yeah, thank you, DB, for coming on the show, and thank you everyone in the chat as always. I'm going to go to the Winners Pub, have some lunch, and just reflect back on the season, have a beer, and come back. And then I guess for you're doing Steelers Syndicate, right? And Arsenal DB.
Yeah.
You guys catch you're almost near 1,000 on the Arsenal DB. 924.
924, yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking everything. You're talking basketball, football, game picks. You're talking everything. So who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl?
I'm probably still going Lions, most likely to win. But I wouldn't be surprised though. Wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings find themselves in the Super Bowl as well, because I thought that'd be a good storyline. They meet up again. The Lions won the first matchup, but they meet up again maybe in a title game like that. But you need somebody to win, because the Vikings is the lowest seed. They have to play the Lions in the middle round.
You're right. Yeah. I reckon it's going to be Lions versus Vikings Super Bowl.
No, the title game.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to appease my audience, because about 5% of my audience thinks you're from Australia, don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, Lions versus Vikings Super Bowl. I think that's the one. If you ever meet a fan like that, just tell them to jog off. Like, no, they can't be that.
You can be a fan anywhere.
Yeah, my sneaky pick's going to be Buccaneers, man.
Buccaneers.
I want to see, but I like the connection. I like Baker and Mike Evans. I think the connection's great.
Mike Evans is unstoppable in the red zone. The touchdown machine.
I'm saying, like, I don't want the Buccaneers to win another one because they won with Brady before, but it's a different team with Baker Mayfield. And if they win with that, if they win with Baker Mayfield, Brown's pick, that to me would be funny.
Yeah, as long as the Chiefs don't win. As long as the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs can fuck off.
As long as the Chiefs do not win. I hope they get eliminated by Texans. I hope Texans beat them.
Bills, their story's good, but like, it'd be funny to see them lose again. Texans, maybe. I don't know. It might be Bills versus Lions or Ravens Lions.
I want to see the Bills fans that little. No, I'd rather see the Ravens there just so they can lose and get blown out.
Ravens versus Lions would be a great matchup. I think
they would get there and lose by 30 or something. Something crazy.
I wouldn't mind, but maybe. G'day, Paranormal. Maybe if you put in Buccaneers though, then Baker Mayfield throws the game away because he's like so off and on.
Yeah.
You know? So no, I think it could be a Lions versus Vikings NFC Championship. It could be Lions. Obviously, the Eagles just won then. It's Buccaneers versus Commanders now. So I'm going in the pub to watch that game. Yeah, thank you, DB. Thank you, everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. We'll both be around on the Arsenal DB channel. And a sad Steelers fan will turn into an optimistic Steelers fan soon. You're on the Steelers Syndicate YouTube. I'm here on Steel Oz. We're doing our best. We're talking football. But, yeah, thanks, everyone in the chat. And, it's been a fun season, man, even though we sucked in the end. But what do you do? Okay, I'm going to play this outro, and we'll get out of here. You know what? I've still got this. No, I can't play your champion song. I was going to do it.
We're not champions. We're not champions.
Nah, I can't do it. All right, guys, we'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. Hey, Rod. See you later. Oh, so my bad. I'll see you guys later.